This is going to be basically a rant. And I do want to start off by saying that I do still come from a place of privilege, and I'm grateful for my situation, even though it's not what I want and what I expected it to be at this time in my life. But this week marks 2 years since my layoff as a software engineer, and I've been either unemployed or underemployed since then. I currently do have a full-time job, but it's a job that is not in my industry. It pays barely $20 an hour, so I have to spend my free time doing odd jobs or taking on second jobs in order to be able to afford or pay my bills. And majority of my spending is on rent, and then credit card and student loans. And I never had credit card debt until late 2022, and that's because of a series of pretty traumatic events. And I also grew up poor, so it's not like I haven't really had money my whole life. When I started working as a software engineer, I was barely getting my life together. I have 3 years of experience, or I worked as a software engineer for 3 years, and I was barely building up financial stability. And then those traumatic events happened, and basically everything I had saved just gone. And then I got laid off, so it just feels like now I can't get back to where I was. It's difficult because I have my full-time job. I commute an hour to and from work, so that's 2 hours each day commuting, 10 hours a week. That's a lot of time wasted for very little money. And I don't have time to search for jobs that much. Aside from my full-time job, other odd jobs that I do or side gigs is I donate plasma. That takes up a lot of time, and it also makes me pretty tired. I nanny. I used to nanny right after work. I would go straight from work to there until 8 p.m. I don't do that anymore. It's just weekends here and there. But I still do that. I dog sit. I cut my friend's. I mowed my friend's lawn the other day, a few days ago. I drive for Grubhub, and it's just, these are all jobs that don't pay much and take up a lot of time. So I don't have time to be searching for jobs or practicing leak code or doing all the things that I should be doing in order to get a better paying job. It just feels like no matter, it's if I spend time doing those things, then I won't have money to pay my bills. And it's starting to get pretty draining. I think I'm getting burnt out of just that same cycle of, if I have money, I don't have time. If I have time, I don't have money. And I didn't get into tech just for the money. I genuinely have always liked solving problems and tinkering and fixing things, building things. So it's not just losing my financial lifestyle from before when I was a software engineer. It's losing a little bit of sense of self. Yeah, and just losing this dream that I had for myself. Not only that, but whenever I do apply to jobs, I'm going up against more experienced engineers. I'm not even applying to software engineering jobs most of the time. I'm doing tech adjacent or tech support type, engineering support type jobs. But I'm going up against engineers who have a lot more experience, who have time. Like I said, I never had a large amount of savings. I couldn't take an extended amount of time to dedicate to job search and job prep or interview prep stuff. And I'm also applying to jobs that pay more than what I get paid now, that are not in tech, that still pay pretty low. But I'm not even getting those because I'm overqualified. And I'm not even putting that I'm a software engineer on my resume. I put like data specialist or something that's not a software engineer. And I'm still not getting much traction. I know that I can do the jobs that I want. I'm a hard worker, but and I am working hard, but I'm trading my time for money. And it feels like if I work hard, I want it to be worth it. And right now it feels like it's not worth it. Because it's like, I'm just like working myself to death right now. I also work for a shitty company who has a very shitty PTO policy. So I like don't have PTO hours to, like if I do get an interview, I don't have PTO hours to do interviews. And yeah, it just sucks right now. And I know that I'm not the only one going through this. And like I said, I still am grateful, and I do have, some privilege because I do have a job, and I am able to pay most of my bills most months. But yeah, that doesn't take away from the fact that the job market sucks. And even the jobs that are out there now, they pay less than they used to. And everything is so expensive as well. I know I'm not the only one. And I don't know, I think there's probably a lot of people who could relate to this. I also don't have kids. I can't imagine being in this situation and having to maintain children. And figuring all of that out. So I like, if you are going through a similar situation but you have like a family to support, I'm so sorry that this system is screwing you over and screwing all of us over. That's pretty much it, I think. Yeah, I don't know, just a rant, and hopefully things will get better. And I am a pretty determined person, so I don't think I'll give up. But at the moment, I probably won't be applying really to jobs. Yeah, right now I work at a collections agency, so for as long as people have some amount of money, my job is secure. And I don't think I'll try too hard to find another job in tech, because it is pretty secure, and for the most part I can pay my bills with other odd jobs, and I just don't want to risk having to be laid off again, because there are still so many layoffs happening, not even in just tech but like in other industries as well. That's pretty much it, just a rant. It's been 2 years. I want a career. I want a better job. The job market sucks. I don't want to be stuck at this company, at this dead-end job. But I don't know when things will get better. But in the meantime, I'll still apply here and there and work as much as I can to pay my bills and still try to have some sort of life. Because I do have a lot of hobbies and I like doing things. I've never been a big spender, but there are little things here and there that I want to get for myself, or treat my wife or something like that. Hopefully one day I can just look back and be thankful that I'm no longer in this situation. I don't know how long that'll be, but being a determined, tenacious person, eventually it'll happen. Eventually, like, this is just temporary, and I'll be in a better place one day. Okay, bye. One last thing. I know that I just like ranted and complained about my situation. I know that this is the poorest I've ever been, the most I've ever worked, and the least amount of free time I've ever had. But even despite all of that, I'm still like, I don't want to say happy, because I don't think it's happiness. I think it's peace. I think this is the most peaceful I've ever been. I mean, it's like a sucky situation, but I am not like super stressed or anything. I get stressed here and there. But yeah, I do still feel a lot of peace, and obviously I do feel happiness, with specific things. I don't really feel sad. I don't feel disappointed. I don't have any like very